Why they pretend to support you but secretly hope you fail. We've all felt it, and we've all been the target of it. But how we deal with it defines our relationships and personal growth. Jealousy, a universal emotion. We've all felt it before, haven't we? I've been jealous of others, and I've also been the target of jealousy. It's an emotion that no one escapes from. But the truth is, sometimes the people closest to us aren't as supportive as they seem. I thought my friends had my back, but later I realized they were building walls of jealousy around me, not cheering me on. True friends versus fake friends. A real friend doesn't care about how successful or unsuccessful you are. Even after 10 years, they'll still support you just the same. But most people aren't like that. As life got busier, I started noticing that some friends only reached out when they needed something. When I no longer served a purpose for them, they slowly faded away. The more jealous a person is, the more they compare themselves to others and feel inferior. In the end, they weren't actually hating me. They were hating themselves. Looking back, I realized that jealousy had always been there. I just hadn't seen it before. Sometimes the people closest to you want to see you do well, just not better than them. The neighbor who knew too much. When I first met her, she was incredibly kind. She listened, nodded, and spoke as if she truly understood my struggles. She made me feel like she cared. Looking back now, I wonder, was that her plan all along? Neighbor asked. It must be really tough, right, raising kids? Me. Yeah, it can be exhausting. At first, it was comforting. Then slowly, her questions started to change. Neighbor asked, "So what do you do for work? What about your husband? What does he do? How much does he make? How much do you guys spend every month?" At the time, I didn't think much of it. I believed we were becoming close, so I answered her questions, even the ones that should have been off limits. Then she started talking about other people, not just general things. She knew everything about everyone, who was struggling financially, whose marriage was rocky, who secretly hated who. And that's when I got scared. If she was telling me all of this, what was she saying about me to others? It wasn't long before I started noticing the way people looked at me differently. There was hesitation, curiosity, almost pity. I couldn't understand it at first, but then it hit me. She wasn't just asking questions, she was collecting information. She wasn't interested in my life because she cared. She was interested because she needed to compare. She needed to measure her own life against mine. And when my life didn't fit her narrative, she rewrote the story for herself. I started pulling away, making excuses, keeping my conversations short. I thought that would be enough. I thought she'd take the hint and leave me alone. But that's not what happened. Instead, she turned against me. She didn't just stop talking to me. She made sure others did too. I could feel it in the air, the change, the shift. People were hesitant around me, unsure of what to believe. And the worst part? No one confronted me about it. They just accepted whatever version of the story she had spun. This wasn't the first time. It happened in middle school. It happened in high school. People whispering, spreading rumors, changing the way they looked at me. But this time was different. I wasn't a teenager anymore. I wasn't chasing popularity or trying to fit in. I was just trying to live my life. That person constantly compared her life to others, fueled by jealousy and the need to feel superior. Every moment was a competition, a way to measure her worth against someone else's. She needed to know where she stood in the hierarchy. Every conversation was a silent competition. Every interaction was a way to boost her own ego, to make sure she wasn't the one falling behind. Meanwhile, I was too busy living my own life. But she was living through comparison. I never want to experience that kind of kindness again, where fake concern and politeness mask something darker, where someone pretends to care just to use your life as a measurement for their own worth. I want my children to grow up knowing their worth without needing validation from comparison. I want them to stand strong, so that when someone like her comes along, they won't even blink before walking away. Because there will always be people like her, The only thing we can do is make sure we never become them. Cutting off toxic relationships. The moment I let go of fake friends and toxic people, I felt an incredible sense of relief. But the real shock? These types of people never truly go away. Me ask, "Mom, can you believe this? Even in my 30s, I still have to deal with these people." Mom told me, "Honey, even in your 60s and 70s, they will still exist." That was the moment I realized jealousy and comparison never disappear. No matter how old you are, people will always measure their lives against yours. If people are jealous of you, it means you have something valuable. So instead of trying to avoid jealousy, the real lesson is to stop caring about it altogether. Jealousy will always exist, but you don't have to let it control you. Focus on your own path and let go of the negativity. Love yourself first. Have you ever experienced jealousy either from others or within yourself? How did you handle it? Like, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode!